Ladies and gentlemen, I have been a fan of Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, ever since her inception. And as much as it pains me to just admit that she is now gone, and I will miss this guiding light that was bringing hope and joy and excitement to a new generation of fans. And oh, I apologize. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Oh. Oh. Well, that's embarrassing. Is there any way we can get a refund on this funeral? Well, I mean, geez, you pay a few bucks for a funeral suit and it just goes to waste. Oh well, this you should really expect this kind of thing in the Marvel universe. I would imagine that the DC and Marvel universes, there's actually refund policy over at mortuaries. So hey, I woke up to some pretty exciting news in that it wasn't very unexpected news. But I'll be honest, there are some tidbits to the story that I did not see coming. And it did come a little earlier. I thought maybe this would be put off for another couple months. Not immediately afterwards. And yes, of course, Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, is back already and brought back, and it looks like the way we all figured she would be. Resurrected through the X-Men's resurrection protocols, meaning that she is in fact a mutant, which is something, if I'm not correct, I don't have this exactly confirmed for me, but there is some stories that I have heard, I don't know if this is a rumor, that the creative staff behind her creation were planning to make her a mutant, but the suits in charge, otherwise known as Perlmutter, wanted to put a kibosh on this whole X-Men thing. No one likes the X-Men. Screw them. We're all about Inhumans now, because we totally own that completely. So it's Inhumans, and she was the big thing that was going to be one of the push for this initiative. And she's the only one that stuck around because she actually was popular and was the one thing about the Inhumans that really grabbed people, because she's a character and she has like layers to her that's interesting. So of course that happened. And also she's attached to they made a smart move by not attaching her to an Inhuman character. She was attached to a other character, Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, who does have fans. So yeah, these were all smart moves, and it looks like this is the absolute last nail in a different coffin in the whole effort in making the Inhumans the new X-Men. And yeah, this came about the whole way we thought it would, and the whole thing actually is very interesting because we're getting a new series, and it's written. This is a big surprise for me. It's co-written by Aman Vellani, who is the actress who plays her in the MCU. Let's see. She is, of course, a lot of you out there know her as Miss Marvel, but she was a big super fan of the character as well as an actress, so this was kind of a dream come true for her. Now she actually gets to co-write the character itself. She's not doing this alone. There is one of the writers from the show, and let's see, excuse me if I get this name incorrect. It's Sabir Pirzada, and they'll be writing with her, and I actually think that's a good idea because apparently Vellani is a first-time writer, at least professionally, that is. And it might not be a bad idea to bring her excited fan enthusiasm for this character and kind of ground it with a writer who kind of knows the chops. Also on art, we're going to have, let's see, Carlos Gomez and Adam Gorham doing the art, as well as Sarah Pacelli doing the cover. So pretty excited about this. and it's going to be called Miss Marvel: The New Mutant, which is, boy, is that really underlining the whole thing we're doing here. And yeah, I know a lot of fans are going to be like moaning this, like, oh, synergy, oh no, who cares? Oh my god, this is terrible. Like, I don't know. As long as I have the character back, I'm excited. And actually, number one is from what I can tell from this article on Entertainment Weekly, they're not trading her powers for the MCU powers. Let's see. Let's see. Villani is talking about using and writing about the old powers, the stretchy powers. So I assume that means we're not losing them, or at the very least, we're gaining the MCU powers. Which I'll be honest, which is something I've said since day one. It would be cool if that was an add-on instead of a replacement, because that kind of gives her a power up. She could kind of do a lot of Luffy stuff if she could like create like a big giant and big in fist with like crystal energy powers. Okay, that's kind of cool. I really like that idea. I don't know if they'll do it. That's just me being a dork. So anyway, this is coming out in not long. I think August. Jesus Christ. August is when I thought they'd announced when she's coming back. So boy, man, we were really on the train. I guess they're like, well, everybody knows what we're doing, so why pretend? Why? The days of killing off characters and bringing them back for 2 years is over. That's old news. Good lord, you might as well be dead. We kept Superman dead for a while, like a year or so. We, as in I had anything to do with it, but I am really kind of excited about this. I'm just happy to have the character back. I was getting frustrated because last year she had a TV show come out and she was going to be in the next Captain Marvel movie, and she had no ongoing series, and there wasn't any announcement. She had 2 miniseries, but no ongoing, which kind of had me a little worried about what they were going to do. And I actually got less worried when they killed her off, because this weird, perverted situation we live in with Marvel and DC is killing off a character months before their film or TV show comes out is good news. That means they're reprioritizing and shit like that. I am still mildly irritated that they killed her off in Peter Parker's Spider-Man book and not Miles or her own miniseries. And I get it. Yeah, I get it. You want all eyes on this. I understand. Although they could have done that in X-Men. Since we already knew what they were going to do anyway, they might have well have done it in X-Men. But, oh well. No, it's neither here nor there. But anyway, this is one of those things where this has been so quick. If I had been gone for a couple of months in comics, I would totally miss this. I'd notice her with an X on her costume, but like, oh, okay, when did they change that? It'd be this is kind of a blip in her history when you think about it. The costume looks really good. I am going to miss the Miss Marvel sash. I hope that does eventually come back, but it does kind of like nicely incorporates her new identity piling onto her old identities. And that's one of the things is it looks like it's going to kind of build on her history. Like she's had to deal with a lot in our society. She's a woman. She's a Muslim. She's an Inhuman now. She's a mutant in a time where things seem to be, things are always against the X-Men. What am I talking about? But just throw it onto the pile of like baggage she has to carry around on her from society at all times. So yeah, I think there's a lot they can do with this. I'm very enthusiastic and see what this writing team does. I guess now we know why, let's see, the actress didn't talk publicly about this, because when she was killed off, like, she didn't say anything. Like, she talked a lot, and she corrected the use of calling the MCU the 616 universe, because it's not. And she made very fine points about bringing that up. She didn't talk anything about this. And now we know why, because she was in on the bringing back part. So, of course, she had to keep quiet about it. that explains that. Interesting. So I'm excited. I'm going to pick up the book, obviously. Her being an X-Men does kind of free her up from the Inhuman stuff without completely, like, rebooting DC Comics style, like, forgetting about it forever. And I'm relieved that she's not replacing the powers, it seems like. That's my biggest concern. Like, I was like, don't change to the energy powers. No one wants that instead. This is not a problem to fix. Her stretchy powers are cool, and it's fun, and we don't get enough stretchy powers. She mentions, by the way, interesting enough, before I go, she mentioned something interesting about writing the stretchy powers in that this is a comic and they really don't have to worry about the restraints of the budget, which I feel like is a clue to my theory about why she has energy powers versus stretchy powers in the TV show and film. It's because it's cheaper to produce. And that's what I'm thinking happened. Because I don't believe it's ever been confirmed that Marvel didn't want to stretch characters in the universe. I don't know if I've ever heard that really said by anybody in production connected to this. I think it's been kind of just an accepted truth that I don't know is really actually true. And I do really believe that this was a budgetary decision. Like, well, we can't really make that look 100% right. Let's put glowy stuff around her. That we can do that cheaper. And it does look pretty good in the show. So I think that was the point. And so I guess they're probably not too enthusiastic about changing it, especially with one of the creators and Anne being a big fan, and obviously she's more interested in doing the stretchy stuff anyway. So hey, those are my opinions. Those are my first thoughts about Miss Marvel, the New Mutant. I will of course be picking this series up and reviewing it. I'm pretty excited about it, and I'm really relieved that we've gotten over this hump, and then we can just move on, shall we? All right, you can find me at locations on the internet. There's, what am I at? Facebook, Instagram. You can support me at $1 a month on Patreon. I'm still at the very moment on Twitter. You can still find me there. I am also on, what's that Threads thing? Threads? I don't have a link up yet for that, but I'm on Threads, as well as Instagram. And I'm going to try and get on Blue Sky as well, so keep on the lookout. All right, I think that's it for now. Push the button, Lindsay.